Scrambled eggs are cooked really simply. You start out, usually take an egg, you break it, put it in a bowl, and scramble it. However, easy way to do it is to go with liquid whole egg. This is 8 eggs in a little container. Put in the pan, as much as you want to cook with. Take your spatula, scramble eggs, put in the pan, turn the heat down, don't get too hot. Flip it around a little bit, don't overbeat it. Shouldn't be sticking to the pan. I put a little bit of, by the way, Vital Farms butter, and sometimes I'll use a little bit of Vital Farms ghee in there for flavor. A little salt. On the plate, scrambled eggs. Ready to go when you are. And here I am, otherwise I'll still be up. I get asked more about poached eggs, just about any other type of egg. An important ingredient in poached eggs is boiling water. Put a little bit of salt in it, a couple of drops of vinegar, not too much. Helps to coagulate the egg. And then gently crack the egg and let it go in the water. Give it a second to cook, just a tiny bit, and then slowly move it along the bottom a little bit. And some people like to set up a swirl. And the swirl will sometimes keep that white together and more solid, which people worry about as well. After a second or two, what you want to do is you want to flip the egg over. There we go. See that little flip there? We're going to take it out of the water. All right.
Oh, those are really nice.
You like that?
Yeah.
Don't forget the salt and pepper. Let's start with a little bit of butter in the pan. One of the keys to eggs over easy is to make sure that you have enough lubrication in the pan so the eggs slide around. I usually give a little bit of spray for the edges, just to make sure. The other thing you can do is Vital Farms ghee, which is butter, clarified butter, without any of the milk solids, no lactose. Crack the eggs carefully in the pan. Medium heat. You don't want to go too hot. A little bit of salt before they cook. A little bit of pepper. You want to have enough heat so that the egg is actually still cooking, it doesn't stick to the pan, and not so much heat that it browns the edges. Turn them over without breaking the yolks. That's the way I do it. And I like to make sure the egg comes back out on the plate the way they went in. And there you have it. Eggs over easy. These actually smell really good. Quick quiche. Okay, so I don't have a pie crust, but people are really afraid of quiche, and it's really so simple to make a quiche. It's 5 minutes, really. So I didn't have a pie crust, so I made a little pie crust out of actually my pizza dough. Vital Farms, pasture-raised liquid egg. Using a little oat milk, a little coconut, and that's what they call a royale. This goes into the crust. Give a little salt and pepper. Let's get some broccoli in there. This is already pre-cooked. Some cheese. And voila, into the oven. About 30 minutes later, pull it out, and there we have a really simple quiche. Nice meal. Start out with a pan, get a little butter, starting to sound familiar. Again, you gotta get the butter or the liquid or your lubricant all around the edge of the pan. Take some scrambled eggs, and when you're scrambling by hand, make sure you scramble extra time. You don't want to see the whites and the yolks separate. So I'm gonna put a lot less egg in here than you might think. A lot of people think you need to have a lot of egg, but I like my omelet thin. So you see what I'm doing here is I'm getting all the liquid out. Then I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna put some cheese. Right around the outside here. Swiss chard maybe, a couple slices of tomato. I'm just gonna flip it over a little bit. On the plate, approximately 1 minute to cook that omelet. Couldn't be any simpler. You can put anything you want inside of them. Delicious. We start with some toast. That I know how to do. A little ghee in the pan, and I'm gonna add a little butter to that as well. 1 egg, Now for an egg sandwich, you can cook your egg over easy, over medium, over hard. Depends what you like. I have friends that like to have their egg sandwich where the yolk is running out of it. So we got that done. Take a little mayonnaise. Get on the bread. Slice of vegan cheese. We give it plenty of time, usually melt. There we go. And then on the bread, we have a little tomato on there. I just picked these out of the garden. Cap it up. Delicious.
Easy with
runny,
the sandwich.
Yolky. But my wife loves it. And happy wife, happy life. The simplest way to make a crepe is to start out with your favorite pancake batter. Add extra egg, and that's it. Okay, I've got 1 egg in here. A little bit of normal pancake batter. And put about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more in there. Switch it over to wire whisk. Let's add a little bit of butter. Pour your batter in your pan. You're gonna use a lot less than you think you're gonna use. And you're gonna keep rolling around the side of the pan until it stops rolling. You see it starting to brown right here. Go in, boom. Put it right in the plate. Who needs a spatula? Happy kids with this. I'm gonna show you. Oh, sunny side up eggs. So the key is really simple. You start out with enough heat so that the egg doesn't stick to the pan, and then turn the heat way down to the lowest possible setting and cook the egg all the way through. Let's add a little bit of butter. We'll get the egg in here. You see it's turning white in the pan right away. And as soon as it gets a little solid, I'm gonna turn the temperature down. But just keep it off the heat if you need to. Move it back on occasionally. Make sure it's still cooking. Move back off again. So now you see it's cooked. There's no runniness on that. Delish, all by itself. My favorite way is a 10-minute egg. And the only way to time a 10-minute egg is to take it right out of it, to start in boiling water and end in an ice bath. So simply take the egg, set your timer, in this case for 10 minutes, and start your timer. Put it right into the water. Now, voila, let's pretend it's 10 minutes and the timer goes off. You're gonna take your egg out and you're gonna put it right into the cold water, ice water. You wanna stop the cooking process, dead in its tracks. And then what you're gonna end up with is a 10-minute egg. It's gonna have a little bit of that moisture in there. See, it's not gonna be so dry. That's my favorite way to cook an egg. How am I doing? Simply take your scrambled egg. You can do something like put some cinnamon in it. You can put sugar in there. You can do all kinds, put a little maple syrup. But I like just to start with just scrambled egg. Dip your bread in it. Don't soak it all the way through, but get it so that it's, you know, the egg gets about halfway through it into the pan. Let's check to see what the color looks like on here. You can see, because egg is also a leavening agent, that it's also started to rise up a little bit. It's done when the egg is cooked on the inside. So basically you've got that scrambled egg cooking inside the bread. Perfect, both sides. French toast in a minute. That's all it really took.